On the semifinal Saturday of the Guaranteed Rate Bassmaster Elite at Lake Oahe, Millbridge, South Dakota is the place, and we have got these guys trying ardently, just as hard as they can, to make it into the top 10. That's the list as it stands right now, unofficially, per Bass Track, with Austin Felix atop the leaderboard, where he has been for a pretty good little amount of time here. Chris Johnston, Taku Takuido, they've all swapped out that spot during the course of the day. Earlier in the day, it was Tyler Rivette occupying the top. So you can see how close the competition is. You can see how hard it is to pick out a favorite for who might prevail at the end of tomorrow. But we will. Yes, we shall see. But let's see what we've seen so far as we review with the Toyota Midday Report. Martin Zona, starting with Tyler Rivette.
Why don't we talk about that, Tommy Sanders, in this Toyota Midday Report? We got the best of the best. I'm talking about game changers. Exactly right. Tyler Rivette getting it done early and often today on FS1, getting it done with the Carolina rig, backing it up with a drop shot. And Tyler Rivette, really, of all the anglers that we had on camera early today, pretty much had the best early morning bite. He was one of the first anglers we had on camera, except for Jake Whitaker, who kind of hit a stall, but a very, very solid day so far, just under 15 pounds for young Tyler Rivette. I'm talking about the best of the best.
It really is. Tyler Rivette currently standing in 5th place so far with an estimated weight of 14 pounds and 10 ounces, having himself a good season. And this is, of course, by his own admission, his best smallmouth outing so far in his Elite Series career.
And here comes Taku. Takuido. Now, on the other side of the spectrum in this Toyota Midday Report, Takuido, a very, very consistent tournament. Fishing a little 4-inch shad Nico rig with a little Taku spice, little secret Taku powder that he's putting on his bait. Taking a look at Taku, caught a couple early fish, but it was when the sun shined. About, call it 11 o'clock, Taku went on an absolute tear. One thing that we've seen in this tournament, guys going on floors, big long stalls of not catching them. And that sun came out, Taku absolutely crushed him. Right now, Taku, just like Tyler Rivette, sitting just under 15 pounds unofficially, finding himself in the mix for Championship Sunday. Tommy Sanders.
Maybe close.
Let's talk about Matt Robertson, the Kentucky angler, having a great tournament here as part of his great season that he is engaged in right now. And said he kind of likes this place, likes the way it sets up for him and everything, and he proved that today he was ready to go.
What's interesting, Tommy and Z, is that we have seen Matt Robertson run all around the lake throughout the first 2 days. He wasn't on live day 1 and day 2, but we saw him in the background of a lot of different community holes. He's been picking and choosing his spots, and today he seems to have outlasted everyone else he's been fishing around.
Matt Robertson currently with an estimated 15 pounds and 6 ounces, one of the better limits of the day so far.
Yeah, and as squirrely as these fish have been, if you're just joining us here, semifinal Saturday, a Carolina rig has been a big, big player. Chris Johnson said day 2 of this tournament, he got most of his work done by 9 o'clock. That was not the case, and really, of all of our anglers right now that could make some big late game charges, Chris Johnston with only 1 bass around the 3-pound range. A lot of his work coming today on a drop shot and a Carolina rig. Chris Johnson definitely off of the pace that put him in the lead after Friday's weigh.
He's been Mr. Consistency with 18-15, 18-13 over the first couple of days. And here's the man on top, Austin Felix, certainly one of the favorites coming in here.
Rise of the Felix. Exactly right. Catching a big, big stringer. Biggest bag of the tournament on day 2. Just over 23 pounds. Sharing that area with Lee Livesey. Seems like that area's got a little bit tired, but like Takuido, going on a late morning charge, putting Austin Felix unofficially now in the lead with just under 14 pounds and a lot like Chris Johnston, still room to move.
Well, that's your Toyota Midday Report. Catching us up to date right there as we move into our last couple of hours of fishing for these anglers out here, and it certainly has been a challenge. I mean, you think about what these guys, how they've had to rewire the way they think through the course of the season. You take away laydowns, you take away vegetation, you take away little creeks and little pockets and stuff like that. Boulders, no, you don't get that either. This is bass fishing stripped down to the basics here.
What it feels like, Tommy, is that some of these fish, these smallmouth in South Dakota, act more like Tennessee smallmouth that we'd see at Cherokee or a Douglas, or the way they relate there, maybe even the Tennessee River. They just are wired differently, and it's making these anglers, coming off the high of the St. Lawrence, it's just a totally different deal for some of these anglers, and it's very interesting to see how they're adapting.
Suit any of the races that are kind of
There
tight
he is,
up
Z.
here?
There you
Sorry,
go.
Z. I didn't know you were going to. Go ahead, Z.
I'll be honest with you, Tommy. 5 hours on FS1 got everybody a little scrambled out.
I think you're right.
But really, hey, look at some guys. Look at some guys that got back in the mix that are unofficially in our top 10. Guys like Brian New, a set fighter, and here there's just some things in this tournament right now that, for a smallmouth event, that you cannot explain. You look at your day one leader, Brandon Card, who's had a miserable day today. Patrick Walters, who coming into today probably had as much confidence with the weather, the lack of wind. I mean, Patrick Walters fished for like 3 hours max yesterday, said, oh, don't worry, I'm on the right ones to win this tournament. And the one consistent in this event so far is inconsistency. I don't know that there's a smallmouth event that we have covered on the Elite Series ever, at least. I mean, you could say Pittsburgh, but that was a very low weight event.
Yeah.
It's just been a very inconsistent tournament as far as catching those 17-pound bags and over. And Tommy, it almost feels like one of those oddball tournaments that whoever catches the biggest stringer tomorrow is going to hold the trophy.
It's a good prediction right there. Let's get you out on the water right now and go to the first man we mentioned today on our midday report, and that is Tyler Rivette.
Didn't think my mic was working there. I was wondering what Zona was shocked that I pitched it to him there, you know?
No, it's been the time.
It's been
3 days. Take a load off, boy. Go and grab some wood now.
Conditions have not been great today.
No.
This is a first.
Is he fishing? Yes. Yes.
All right.
You feel my lash. See that right there? That fish catch is about as goofy as this man has.
Just had to sit down.
I don't think I've ever saw anyone catch one on their back before. I was hoping it was a good one.
That'd be cool. Just show you a trick every now and then. You got to make them think that you're slipping. They're like, oh, I'm gonna eat it while he's sitting there. Yeah, I was hoping it was a big one too.
So he's getting some ab work in.
If you think I'm scared, you are sorely mistaken, Tommy.
Surely not. Surely not.
Well, absolutely. But all I need is the music.
Oh.
On now. Get on out of here now.
Look out.
That's right. Powerful replay of the day. I told you once, grab some wood, boy. Sit down. Nice. I'm going to tell you what, he cracked him too.
Yeah.
As we said, that's a Louisiana hog whip. Tyler Rivette, not even remotely going to help him, and shows where we're at on this semifinal Saturday. We'll use that one right there, Tom. They liked it in the truck, and we will feed it.
Absolutely.
Powerful replay today. Tyler Rivette, Louisiana hog whip. Yes.
Yeah, he laid that out.
I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm not gonna step in on that. See, there you go.
All right.
Okay.
He had a heck of a hook set this morning too, which we might want to revisit at some point.
Oh, we'll compare it
Yeah.
to some of the best.
Tommy, you're asking about Angler of the Year, Brennan Palnick. I know he doesn't count the points, but Chris Johnson was maxed out. He actually lost. We don't know what Brandon Lester's doing, but the next competitor, Drew Benton,
doing a deal where
has
they
2
just
fish for about 1 pound, so he's lost some ground too.
don't care after that.
It has been remarkable weather here today.
Beautiful. Looking for the return of some wind tomorrow as we look forward to the forecast for Championship Sunday.
They just chase it
Tommy?
down.
As we look forward to Championship Sunday, one of the things that we closed our broadcast with earlier on television was how this is going to be one of the closest tournaments we've had of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your pick, friendo.
My pick.
Yeah, friendo.
We don't even know. We're still going to have half the top 10 switch out by
yeah,
the time the end of the day.
You know what? I see Seth Feider
What?
making a big move today. He made a big move today.
There's a sheet of glass where Austin Felix is.
Yep.
I've got reports from Trey Bruce, cameraman with Austin Felix, and
don't
he
like cameras
just
today.
weighed his fish when we came out of the commercial break, and his weight is just about 16 pounds and a quarter, just so about 1.5 pounds more than he's got. So if we're picking a guy, I'm picking Austin Felix if he's going to have a 3-pound lead.
And he told me he was going to win. I did an advanced story with him before this event. He said, I'm going for the win. So
Okay.
I'll stick with him since he's leading.
I mean, I picked him on my fantasy team in January, so I feel like I already claimed success, you know? Also, I'm going to wait. I'm excited to wait and see what Patrick Walters has. Same time of the day yesterday, we got a confirmed report of what he ended up weighing, or what he brought.
I don't like this time zone thing. where
I've
it's-
tried to send a message to his cameraman 3 times, and it's canceled, or it hasn't delivered because of service. So
There's also guys with no bass track like Lee Livesey, Scott Canterbury, Summerall. If they come out with 19 pounds, they're in our top 10 tomorrow.
Take a minute and have a visit with our man, Davey Height. Been on the scene all day long, brought us some on-location coverage a little earlier today. Certainly enjoyed that. And Davey, as we get down to the shank of the day, as they say here, what's going through your mind? Do you feel confident picking a favorite for tomorrow?
This is a very interesting tournament, Tommy. I heard you and Z and Ronnie talking about it, but I agree with you 100%. I think whoever goes out tomorrow and has the best day will be our winner. Any one of the top 10. I really thought the catches were going to be better today than they are because the conditions have gotten so good. And honestly, there's several of the guys that I'm sure they're wishing, I wish the wind would blow 20 miles an hour out of north again. It's absolutely incredible. This place, the more we think we're learning about it, the more it kind of throws us a curveball. These smallmouth are different than the places we've been traditionally so often, like the St. Lawrence River.
Davey, by the way, we have not brought this up. Number one, early congratulations. B&W Trailer Hitches on the line with Davey Height. You are soon to be two-time grandfather here shortly. Before we get into that, real quick, I'd like to talk to you about, we have seen a Carolina rig, a very, very big player. And a lot of the anglers said it's because just getting a bait away from the boat. A lot of very spooky bass tweaked out throughout this tournament. And one of the things I talked with Tommy about earlier was you see places where a Carolina rig shines on the western end of Lake Erie. You see it on Lake Champlain. Somewhat, we've seen it on the St. Lawrence River. Talk about what, as far as a quality bite, a Carolina rig does for smallmouth bass.
Yeah, well, there's a couple things, in my opinion. Number one, you don't see many people throwing it anymore. And, the drop shot, when it first, got so popular here in the States, everyone was throwing Carolina rigs. And now it's just the opposite. So I think simply that's a lot of the reason. You get more bites. But the other thing, the Carolina rig has always been great for, and that's landing percentage. I've talked to a lot of the anglers the last 2 days, standing in the weigh-in line or after they weighed in, and anytime you go to a smallmouth event, you're going to hear a few people say, man, I had a couple opportunities. I lost those bigger fish. Well, at the St. Lawrence right now, when you lose a 4-pounder, you just wait 5 minutes and another 4-pounder will bite. But here, when you lose a 4-pounder or two, it is so costly. So the landing percentage is what's really incredible about the Carolina rig, in my opinion.
Davey, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow out there on location there at Mobridge, South Dakota. Davey Height helping us out with some good thoughts right there. Let's get back out on the water to our leader, tournament leader, Austin Felix.
Come on, be a big one. Oh, yeah. Come up in here. He ain't huge, but he's bigger than what we got. We might have figured out what we need to do now. Old skinny sucker. What color is he? Yellow.
Austin Felix angling for
Well,
another.
those are not.
Yeah, go ahead.
Those are not giant culls, Tommy, but those could pay huge going into tomorrow. Absolutely enormous.
Austin Felix, 52 pounds and 1 ounce, sits atop our leaderboard right now. Haven't heard from Chris Johnston in a little bit, nor Matt Robertson. Hope to catch up with them sooner rather than later. Taku Takuido.